Hey everyone, Nintern here. We finally have Devourer changes in this new alpha build that we just got notes for. I just wanted to really quickly go over these. We got a lot of new talents and a lot of stuff to go over. First, we finally have our 3 new hero talent nodes for Void Scarred. Cosmic damage increased by, 5/3%. I'm assuming this is cosmic, 3% cosmic for Devourer. Effect double on Demon Form, great. Soul Molation has a 25% chance to reignite after it expires, reapplying its effect. I'm curious how that will interact with the free proccing Soul Immolation we have, Spontaneous Immolation, um, and kind of how that would work. That could be something that would be interesting to look at the very least. I'm not sure that would actually be very good. Entering demon form immediately induces a demon surge / causes your next void surge to repeat after a short delay. This is good because those void surges are only happening when you're in melee. So, sounds that pretty simple stuff, but nice parts of the fell scarred / void scarred tree. And then we get to Devour. We're pleased with the state of Devourer and its reception thus far. The following changes are targeted at injecting some additional variety in talent builds, better focusing and expanding on the melee and ranged playstyles, while also increasing the frequency of the hungering / combo for players who want to engage with that portion of Devourer's kit. Lastly, we're significantly increasing the impact of Impending Apocalypse, also making it easier to access alongside the Emptiness / Soul Glutton choice node to ensure that your Void Metamorphosis playstyle choice feels significant, and longer Void Metamorphosis windows are rewarded with more noticeably increased damage from Collapsing Star. So, part of what this is talking about is, one, Impending Apocalypse is the, chain cast, or just get as many Collapsing Stars in Void meta as you can. The problem with this was that, and I believe Sailder in the Demon Hunter Discord was kind of talking about this, that it was actually a damage gain to go into meta, cast Collapsing Star, because you get your free Collapsing Star when you entered meta, and then you would cast it and then instantly cancel Aura out of Void meta because that was just what did more damage, which is really funny. So it definitely needed some work. But the big problem that Devourer has, or I guess had, was the talents just weren't the talents weren't terribly interesting, and there wasn't a lot of talent variety. Because like if I fill out this talent tree, I'm gonna fill it out, and I'm gonna be able to, if I so choose to, anyway, take every single capstone, which on paper sounds good, but let's say I only want to play ranged. Okay, so let's get rid of these melee talents because I don't want to play melee in my ranged build. So I don't take any of my melee stuff. Okay, so where does that leave me? I end up just having to take, 2 points into, like, I fill out my tree, and I'm at 28 points. So I have 2 more points to spend in this tree. Well, I'm probably just going to spend them on Sweet Suffering and increase the duration of Feast of Souls because Void Rage is just so lame. And Void Rage is still in the tree. It's just mastery now and not haste. But the amount of new talents, I'm curious to, and I'm really curious to see where they're positioned on the tree. This is the old tree. This hasn't been updated on Wowhead yet as of me recording this. But let's just go. I just want to go through these talents. But I do agree with the developer note here because I think there should be a far more distinct difference between I play the melee Devourer build and I play a full range Devourer build, and like kind of the interactions between Fellscarred and Annihilator, and how like what if I'm playing a melee Annihilator build, because that sounds pretty cool. But Collapsing Star reduces the cooldown of Void Blade by 10 seconds. Void Blade in the hunt briefly reduce your Fury Drain while in Void Metamorphosis. This is great. I absolutely love this talent. The more I can sort of do my dash into melee, the better, because before it was just you did it after the hunt, and then you could do it every like 45 seconds, depending on your haste. Void Raid, Hungering Slash, damage increase, this is fine. Crit chance is good. Reap and Consume, good. Void Blade damage increased by 25%. Hungering Slash deals 50% increased damage to its primary target. Great for Mythic Plus, great for Raid. I mean, it's just a great talent. Crit chance increased by 2%. Consume deals 10% increased damage, and its cast time is reduced by 0.25 seconds. Good. Void Raise cooldown during meta is reduced by 2 seconds. Really good. The more Devourer is able to get into its cooldowns, because another problem it has is that it just takes so long to get into meta. So hopefully some of these talents can sort of remedy that. Reap's cooldowns can reduce by 1 second, fine. Soul Immolation generates additional fury, that's fine. Void Blade is now 30 seconds and no longer has its cooldown reduced by haste. Impending Apocalypse isn't updated, just more damage increase from each collapsing star. Void Glare Boon just generates less fury. Void Glare Boon, just 10 fury instead of 20, fine. These are all just tuning, like some of these are just tuning knobs, so I'm not too worried about these. Focused Ray, this was a talent I had a big problem with because it had the same problem that Isolated Prey has and still has in the Havoc tree, where I feel like I have to take this because Sunder is just you're even if you're taking this in M+, you're still going to do more damage with Focus Ray than you will with Sunder. But it getting changed to 3 targets is a great change. Makes it good in raid still. Star Fragments. Star Fragments. Yeah, so I mean, these are just tuning. Some of these are just tuning. A big thing with Void Rage getting changed to Mastery and like Void Blade getting its haste scaling reduced or removed rather is, and some of these CDR talents in here, they might be pushing it more towards a crit mastery playstyle, rather than having a lot of haste. I mean, even Havoc, which for the last while hasn't wanted a ton of haste, you still want like 10% at least around that part. But at the end of the day, you just sim it and you trust the robot. Hungering Slash has been updated. Now additionally causes Hungering Slash to grant a temporary charge of retreat and causes your next potential retreat within 6 seconds. So this is just Void Step. They just put Void Step into Hungering Slash. That's fine. You're opening up a talent point by doing that, and you're making room for these new talents. I'm totally okay with that. Devourer's Bite is this. So it's just the damage amp. I don't know how I feel about that. I understand that like the Void Blade damage is getting moved elsewhere. I'm just curious if the 8% for 10 seconds, especially with the Void Blade still being a 30-second cooldown. I don't know. I'm just curious how much uptime that has. Because like things like Phaline Stomp comes to mind, / Jadefire Stomp comes to mind for like Windwalker, which like was never like super good. Maybe in like pure single target stuff like that was really good. Duty Eternal now increases Void Blade damage by 100%. So where's Duty Eternal? Where is Duty Eternal? Please hold. Eternal. Oh, right, it's this one up here. Okay. 100% is a pretty massive buff to that. The 2 seconds of Void Ray, cooldown and Void meta, great. Hungering Slash now deals reduced damage beyond 8 targets. Eradicate now deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. Again, these are just tuning. I'd be hard pressed to find classes that aren't like soft capped like this. Eradicate being reduced beyond 5 is kind of lame, but I know Eradicate was like doing some massive damage on the beta, or on the alpha rather. We recently fixed an issue causing Devourer Demon Hunters to receive less intellect on their gear than on other specializations. As such, they gain significant power, so we're tamping down their power to compensate. So we can basically just ignore this because they just weren't getting intellect from their gear. Not a big deal. The following talents have been removed: Dark Ultimatum, Sunder, Up Close, Void Step. We saw Void Step. Void Step's just in hunting slash now. Up close was this 2-pointer. up close, up close was this 2-pointer that I had a big problem with because like, why is this 1 point and 1 point and then this is 2 and then 1? I'm fine with getting rid of that. Sunder. I like the idea of Sunder. I really don't like that we're just removing it because it just didn't fit in the tree. Just make it baseline for Devourer. This spec already doesn't have that many buttons. Like I think this has less buttons than Havoc. So I really don't understand why we can't just put this as a defensive, just a baseline. Like I mean, we do still have like 10% leech from Soul Rending, and we do have 2 charges of Blur. So like I'm not too concerned. It's just like I don't know, it just seemed cool. So I mean it's kinda sad that, it's going away. But those are the only Demon Hunter changes this week. So nothing for Havoc and nothing for Vengeance. But I'm curious to see. I'll take a look at the positionings when those get, released from Wowhead. Because I still do not have alpha, unfortunately. And then um I will update y'all next time there's some Devourer changes in the alpha. But for now, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.